Welcome to the Material Retail Dumps podcast. If you've listened to us before, thanks so much for coming back. If it's your first time listening, welcome. Material Retail Dumps is a short form podcast with brief but valuable content for independent retailers. As business owners, we don't have time for a 30-minute lesson with a ton of banter, so we get straight to the meat of the topic and aim to give you actionable information that will help you optimize your retail operation and make more money every day. Welcome to episode 16 of the Material Retail Dumps podcast. This is the first of a 2-episode series all about making the best of a bad situation. As a retailer or any business owner, you're always going to run into issues, whether they're large macroeconomic issues or smaller internal issues that only impact your business. There's no getting around it. You're going to come across problems, and the way you react to those problems is really going to be what makes the difference a lot of times in how successful you are and how long you're able to keep your business in business and profitable. So hopefully these 2 stories over the next 2 episodes really kind of shine a light on what you could be doing as an independent retailer to really just stack the deck in your favor. For the purposes of privacy, everybody's names and the business names have been changed. So let's jump right in. Meet Mike. Mike is the proud owner of Comfy Shoes, a family-owned shoe retailer based in New Jersey. Mike's boutique specializes in name brand shoes, and though small, stocks all the same brands and hard-to-find styles as leading customer favorite department stores. Comfy Shoes has been in business since 1947, supplying the latest styles to generations of its loyal customers. As with many family businesses and brick-and-mortar retailers, Comfy Shoes was ordered to temporarily shut its doors in March of 2020. In the US, the early days of the pandemic arguably had the largest impact on the day-to-day lives of those in New York and New Jersey, as COVID ravaged its citizens, leading to extreme pressure on its hospital network, healthcare workers, and frontline workers alike. Serving his customers and seeing their bright faces daily was what Mike knew best. For generations, his family had run Comfy Shoes with pride. To suddenly shut their physical doors and play the waiting games as lockdowns, restrictions, and a pandemic hindered their ability to sell was a huge adjustment for them. While, as an astute business owner, Mike was familiar with the benefits of e-commerce, Comfy Shoes had never taken their business online before. Mike knew they needed to come up with a plan to not only get Comfy Shoes e-commerce presence ready to go, but also in a way that would have his customers come running into their virtual doors. Sure, Mike could have listed his inventory online and just waited for sales to come in as they did, but getting the same volume of online foot traffic as Comfy Shoes saw at its premier downtown location was unlikely. With so many local businesses with pre-existing loyal customer bases, Mike had to figure out how to help Comfy Shoes stand out amongst its competitors, provide a useful product to shoppers in a time when shoes weren't a hot commodity, and keep his sales up. The solution lay within the problem. For as many people who weren't wearing shoes as much, working from and learning at home, just as many were healthcare workers who stood on their feet for double shifts on end with no relief desperately needed Comfy Shoes. Mike figured it out. Instead of relying on customers to buy shoes for themselves or marketing towards healthcare workers who are underpaid, overworked, and not exactly in the mindset to be making big purchases for themselves, he would invite customers to purchase a pair of shoes to be donated to a healthcare worker in need. Here's how it worked. Mike had a supply chain lined up already, so he selected a pair of comfortable shoes, purchased them at cost from his supplier, and priced them for sale, ensuring his profit margin for an item of that category. Next, Mike put the shoes online and let his customers know about this opportunity. Once a customer purchased a pair of shoes, they had the opportunity to pick which one of a pre-selected list of 5 local hospitals they wanted the shoes delivered to. Comfy Shoes took care of the rest by delivering the shoes to the chosen hospitals in bulk and updated their customers once their orders were fulfilled. It was the perfect equation. In a time where people were feeling particularly philanthropic, wanting to do something, especially for healthcare workers, customers felt like they had done a good deed, and they had. And Mike had met his profit margin and stayed in business. In fact, this strategy worked so well that Mike went from $0 in e-commerce sales prior to March 18, 2020 to $44,000 in his first 2 weeks. Now let's just stop right here and talk about what Mike did. Mike, as a business owner, was ordered to shut his doors and stop doing business basically overnight. He wasn't necessarily able to just rely on his savings to get through the issue. Mike had payroll to pay, people that relied on him, a family to feed. Mike looked at the bad situation that he was in and thought, how can I get through this? His idea of allowing his customers to buy items for healthcare workers was genius. He solved all the problems. He solved the problem of him not being able to do business. He solved the problem of healthcare workers not having comfortable shoes for their double shifts. And he also solved the problem of customers wanting to do good deeds. So Mike took this really horrible situation and turned it into a win for him, for his business, for his customers, for his family and his community. Well, Thanks so much for listening to this episode. I'm looking forward to the next episode where we'll pick up with story number 2 on Mike and Comfy Shoes and what he did to battle the supply chain issues that were affecting retailers in the summer of 2022. Looking forward.